Hey Milo, are you ready to go? No? Not done sleeping yet. We're headed to Denver, Colorado today. Okay guys, we are going to do a little something different tonight. Milo is right there. She won't come out. Milo, you're not in the frame. See, there she is. That's a Milo. She might come out and visit. I was going to pick her up and hold her, but she doesn't want me to. I'm gonna get you look, is what I'm getting. Let's bring this down here for a minute so you. Hello, Milo. We're gonna do a video. You gonna come out and help? No? I bet you'll come out in a minute. Well, get the camera put back where it goes. We are gonna do a little question and answer video tonight. I have accumulated several questions that I have been asked over and over. And, you know, I typically answer them. If I see a question, I like to try to answer it on the comments. I don't always see them all. I try to go through at least like everything. I do read them. Sometimes it's I've seen the question and, hi, you coming out? I've seen the, no she's not. I've seen the question, I wanted to think about the answer, and then I forgot to go back and answer it. Or I get the same questions over and over again. So I've kind of accumulated a few. Maybe this is something we'll do frequently, you know, once a month or something. Maybe we'll see. I've considered doing. She's being weird. She'll be back. She's trying to get the zoomies. We're in Denver. We are at the Cabela's in Denver. We're delivering here in the morning. She distracted me, sorry. I have considered doing a live, but I can't schedule them because I never know what my signal's going to be like when I get parked. I don't know what time I'm going to get parked always either, so our schedule's too up in the air. If we ever do a live, hold on. you doing? What are you doing? Could you come sit back over here with me, or are you going to just keep being weird? Just let me keep being weird. Okay. Well, a question has come up. That's actually not what I meant to start with, but I guess that's what we're starting with. About maybe doing a live here and there, and we might eventually. I didn't put my camera back where I wanted it. We might eventually, but it would probably have to be when we're at home and I know we're home for a weekend, where I know I've got signal, or I'm watching her because she's gonna land on the camera. I'm just sure of it. Well, hi there. Can you come here? You're gonna knock it over. Come here, Whiskers. Come here. Everything but what you want to do. Or maybe when we're, in fact, easily distracted with the cat. Squirrel. Maybe when I know we're sitting in Springfield for the weekend, because I know I have good signal at our terminal. But we'll see about that. If anything, we can maybe, send me questions and I'll accumulate them, and we'll just do a question and answer video at the end of one of our videos. So I was thinking about that today. So for something new, something different, I thought we'd try that. Got really weird reflection on my glasses. Oh well. So one of the questions I get is, Milo, that's my drink. Straws. I don't like straws. Could you get off the table? You're making the camera shake. The camera, or get off the camera, get off the table. Go on, go. Jump already. Jump. Oh, all right. That's what happens when you have a cat with you. Can't tell because I've got this in selfie mode. Laundry basket. Yes, you're being weird. Could you come back here and sit with me for a few minutes and quit being so weird? She was nice and oh my God. She was nice and calm just a little while ago. Okay, back to her questions. I promise this will get smoother when I get used to doing it. It's not the kind of video I'm used to doing. Okay, so one of the first questions I get pretty frequently is, how long have I been driving? And I've been driving for about 8 years. I started with Prime, and I bought my first truck at Prime, and then I went out and bought my second truck on my own, and I'm still working for Prime, but I am an independent contractor. I own my own truck. Been doing it for 9 years, and I really enjoy it. Or not 9 years, 8 years. Not quite 9. It'll be 9 pretty soon. And the next one of the other questions we get pretty often is, how long has Milo been riding with me? And Milo's been in the truck with me for roughly 3 years. She was a barn cat at our house for probably 2 years before she started riding with me. And then that goes right into our next question, is, how old is Milo? Milo is probably now about 7. This is a guesstimate. She's between 6 and 7, I would guess. When I got her from the Humane Society, and they guessed she was about 2. And she's been riding with me for 3 years, and she was a barn cat for about 2 years. Yeah, that makes her about 7. This is a rough guesstimate. We don't know for sure. Let's see. And is Milo a boy or a girl? Milo's name is very deceiving. She is a girl. And then that's why is Milo named Milo? Why are you named Milo? Why are you named Milo? Milo is named Milo because that's the name she had when I got her from the Humane Society. You gonna jump down here? Come on. Come on, Goofy. She's not cooperating with this leave the camera in one place thing for me. Come on. You can come back out? Got a tail. Spoiled rotten. Don't you attack my leg. The story I got from the Humane Society when I got her was that they occasionally do these birthday parties for kids. Because there'll be some children that wanted to help the Humane Society and got supplies together, and then they can have their party at the or supplies to give to the Humane Society, pet food or whatever they're needing. And so then they'll have a party at the Humane Society, and then they let the children go and name a pet. So one of the children named Milo. And Milo knows her name, and she knew her name when I got her. She was what they called a long-term resident at the Humane Society, which means she was there more than 6 months. She knew what her name was, and she was kind of timid when we got her. Absolutely not now. But I wasn't going to change her name. So if I get a pet that has a name when I get it, I know that's what the pet's name is. That's what they know. So there's no reason, and I don't think there's any reason to change it. They don't know they don't care if it's a male or female name. They don't have any. They don't know one way or the other. Let's see. How did Milo learn to ride in the truck? I didn't do much to teach Milo how to ride in the truck. It's partly just Milo's personality. She's pretty relaxed, unless she's playing, then she's not. But she's a pretty easygoing cat for the most part. She actually chose to ride with me on her own. In fact, her first ride in the truck, she was a stowaway. I was loading up. At the time, I was doing local runs where I was home pretty much every night. And I was loading up in the morning to get ready to go out for the day, and actually spent the night out that night. But got about 30 miles from the house, and I heard her meow in the back. She had snuck in the back and had fallen asleep in the pillows on the bed, and I didn't see her, partly because I didn't go in the back. When I was doing the local stuff, I just didn't need to be in the back very much. So she stowed away the first time. And then for probably the rest of that year, 6 or 7 months maybe, I was continuing to do those local routes, so she would just ride with me anytime she wanted to. She was still a barn cat at the time, and when I would go to get in the truck and she wanted to get in the truck with me, I'd let her in and she'd ride with me for that day. She did initially, because I was afraid of her jumping out of the truck or getting under my feet or doing something that would be unsafe. She had a seat, one of those pet seats that you hang on the back of your seat that has a leash in it. So she'd wear it when we'd get ready to go. She'd get in her seat, I'd put her harness on, and clip her in while we were moving. Hi, you coming out? No? Wish we could see you. But I'd clip her in while we were moving, so she had to stay in her seat while we were driving. And then as she got calmer and I knew more, and she started learning what she could and couldn't do when she was in the truck, like get in the dashboard right in front of me, get under my feet while I'm driving, or on the back of my seat while I'm driving, because that just terrifies me. I'm afraid if I have to stop fast, for one, she'll get hurt, but two, I'll get claws in my head or shoulders, and that doesn't sound like any fun. So once she learned, and I did use a spray bottle. That was the most effective way to teach her where she couldn't be when we were driving. It didn't take long. She learned pretty quick. All I had to do was touch the spray bottle if she was going somewhere she wasn't supposed to go, and she quit. I don't even have a spray bottle in the truck anymore. We don't need it. But she just, and then when I went on the road full time, where I was gone, for 2 or 3 weeks at a time, she rode with me, and I started leaving her loose, and she knew what she could and couldn't do. I don't have it in here anymore because we don't really need it, but I used to carry a, I can't remember if it was a medium or a small. I think it may have been a medium size wire dog crate for if we were somewhere where I had to contain her, like I had to keep the windows down because I couldn't run the APU in the heat, or we were going in the shop, and I couldn't bring her into the waiting room with me. That way I could put her in her crate on the bed, and I wouldn't have to worry about the mechanics accidentally letting her out. That hasn't been an issue anymore. Haven't run in anywhere where they wouldn't let me bring her into the waiting room anymore. She's more used to walking on her harness now. So if we can't go in the waiting room, I put her on her harness and we just hang out in the grass somewhere until they're done. But and I didn't harness train her. I have no idea who harness trained her. I don't know if it's just that her personality, or if the people or whoever her owners were before she became a stray. I kind of have a feeling just her personality. Put a harness on her the first time, and only thing she had to learn was when she got to the end of the leash, it was the end of the leash. She couldn't go any further. That didn't take her long to figure that out either. Of course, she's a cat. You don't walk cats. Cats walk you. You need her to go somewhere, you have to carry her. The harness and leash is just a safety item to keep her from running out in front of trucks and things like that. We're getting spooked and running off. What are you doing? Yeah. You're a good girl, aren't you? Doesn't try to get out of the truck. This is kind of moved into the how do I keep Milo safe on the truck. So, she does not try to get out. I know plenty of cats that would never even think about opening a door unless I knew she was contained, or they were contained, or somebody had a hold of them. Milo will stand right there on the threshold when I open the door to get back in and just look, poke her head out and look. She does not like the sound of trucks, engines running outside the truck. So that's what I'm assuming, because they kind of freak her out. So I think she just doesn't try. I keep an eye on her. I always know where she's at. Before I take off anywhere, I always make sure I have a visual on her. I see where she's at, just in case she did sneak out. I got her! I got her! Oh my goodness, what are you doing? What are you doing? She goes, I was gonna go get in my bed. You can't sit with me for a minute? Oh my goodness. You can't sit right here with me for a minute? Are you afraid I'm gonna cut your nails? We already did that. We already cut your nails. Can't you visit? Can't you visit for a little while, huh? You're a pretty girl. But she can bite me, though. Did you bite? Did you bite? That wasn't very nice. She says, I don't want to be held right now. You don't want to be held right. Look at the face. Okay, typical cat. She's not going to do what you want her to do when you want her to do. Hi. You tried to get me. She does not bite me hard. She just puts her teeth on me to let me know she doesn't like what I'm doing. Don't knock the camera down with your tail. But she just doesn't try to get out of the truck. If I would stand there with the door open for a long period of time, she might be more interested in trying to get out. But for me to just get in and out of the truck, even putting groceries in, once I start putting groceries in the seat, she runs to the back. She's afraid I'm going to set something on her, I guess. But her jumping out is just never been an issue. If we have to sit somewhere with the windows down and I'm in the truck with her, I put her harness on her so I can just keep a hold of her, and she usually will just put her feet on the window ledge, don't you, and just sniff and get all the smells. Just never had much trouble with you trying to escape, have we? Miss Milo. Hey, you not gonna talk to me? She said you held me and I didn't want to be held. So, that's how we keep Milo safe in the truck. She knows her boundaries. She knows where she can and can't be when the truck's moving. Of course, once the truck's not moving, pretty much everything but under my feet is free reign. As soon as the truck stops most of the time, she knows what it sounds like when I pull the air brake, and she knows that means we're done. And she'll come and get on the dashboard, stand on the steering wheel, and give me head bumps, and climb up on my shoulder and up over the back of the seat. Yeah, pretty much go anywhere you want to, don't you? Learned that when I'm getting food out on the table for me to get my dinner ready, that she's not allowed to be on the table, otherwise she gets on the table. It's too much small of a space to try to keep her off of places she wants to be when we're not moving. Let's see, what do we got? Where do we drive? We typically stay kind of in the Midwest. However, like today we went all the way over to Denver. Last week we were in Rapid City. I don't go west real often. When I do go west, I rarely go past Denver. Hi. And then we do a lot of Louisiana, Georgia, Alabama, Arkansas, lots of Illinois, Iowa, Indiana, Minnesota, Wisconsin. We live in Kansas, so I've pretty much always done just what they call Midwest regional, where I stay just kind of right up and down the middle of the country. I go to the sides some. We will go to Pennsylvania on occasion. I have been in the DC area a few times. I don't go to the Northeast. I just don't like the traffic, so I don't want to drive up there. We go to Florida every once in a while, Carolinas occasionally. We go east more often than we go west, but typically just right up and down the middle of the country. And what do we haul? Right now, what we haul are tracker boats. Prime has a contract with trackers, so I am doing that right now. Boats are nice and easy. And we've probably done boats pretty solid exclusively for about 2 years now, I'd say, or not 2 years. It's been really close. I've lost track. When typically I'm a flatbed driver. If I'm not doing boats, we do flatbed, which is a lot of construction materials, lumber, shingles, structural steel, kind of things like that. Let's see. Oh, and how do we get our videos, or how do we record our videos? Okay. I use GoPro cameras, and I have 4 cameras mounted in the truck. We've got one on the windshield for the outside shots, and I have 2 on Milo's seat, one mounted on the dashboard facing her, one mounted on the armrest facing her, and that one I can kind of reach over and just pivot a little bit if I need to. And then there's another one on the armrest, and this is kind of new, facing back at the bunk in the back, because occasionally she goes in the back and sleeps back there all day, and she doesn't come up front. I don't use that one real often, but that's another option. So for all the moving shots, we use GoPros. For everything else, I just use my iPhone. I have it to make it safe. I don't touch any of the cameras unless I'm just pivoting that one just a little bit. I don't do that very often. I have a remote control that controls all 4 cameras. So when they're all linked to that one controller. The controller's really easy. I hit the button to turn them all on. All 4 of them come on. Once they're all on, I hit the button again. They all record. I record the few seconds I want to record. And then I hit the button again, turn them all back off, or quit the recording, and then again to turn them all off. But it's just one button. So, and I have that Velcroed to my steering wheel, so I don't even have to take my hands off the steering wheel. So the recordings are pretty safe. I can't leave we're driving 10 hours a day most of the time, so the cameras can't run for 10 hours. I'd be having to stop every hour and change the batteries. Those GoPros are good, but they do eat battery pretty fast, and they get hot. So you really can't just leave them on all day. So the remote's been wonderful. That's a pretty new thing. Before that, they were also voice controlled, which is not real reliable. You yell. I'm not going to yell it because it's kind of like the Alexa thing. They hear their name, they're all going to turn on. So I say, I tell them to all turn on. They'll turn on. I tell them to start capturing, they all start capturing, I have to say their name ahead of what I want them to do, and sometimes they would all come on, and sometimes one would come on, and sometimes two would come on. And then for some reason, to tell them to turn off and turn on, they don't understand that that's two separate commands, so they just do the opposite. So if only one came on, and I want it to turn off, when I would tell it to turn off, the other three would come on. So the remote has been wonderful. We don't have to fight with that anymore. To get a good spread of what we record during the day, I have a timer set, and every 30 minutes I turn all the GoPros on, and I get 15-20 seconds of video, more or less, depending on what the scenery is or what's going on or what Miss Cat's doing, if she's being more or less entertaining. Sometimes all she's doing is sleeping. Sometimes she's being really cute. So I take every 30 minutes while we're driving, I take a quick video of the scenery and what Milo's doing, and then clip that down to about 2.5 seconds probably for the videos. Occasionally we get more videos. If I do at least every 30 minutes if I can. Sometimes I get distracted or I forgot to turn the timer on. But if something's interesting or I want to capture a particular scenery, we'll do extra video. But that's kind of every 30 minutes works out really well for a 10-hour to drive to end up with about a 2.5-minute video. I don't like going any longer than that. Sometimes it does, just because I thought the scenery was really nice and I wanted to include more of the pretty scenery. But that's about our average. I try to do 2.5 minutes, probably about 2.5 to 3 seconds per clip. So quite a bit of editing to get it all put together, but I think that gives a good representation of our drive through the day, which is what my goal was. And are our videos in real time or are they delayed? Our videos are delayed by a week, and that's for our safety and also for the load safety, and our company would be very upset if I was broadcasting exactly where I was with a load. That's just not a safe practice. Not like I think anybody's going to come along and steal a boat off the back of this truck, but it's just not safe practice to let people know exactly where you are when you're there. So my videos are all delayed by a week, and that's for our safety. So whatever you're seeing, and that's why I put the dates on them too, so you can kind of, whatever the date is, that's when it was recorded. So when you're seeing a video, it's Monday video, it was recorded the previous Monday. So today's Wednesday, so this was recorded the Wednesday before you saw it. I know, and I watch lots of other videos, similar videos on YouTube and Facebook, video creators that a lot of you guys watch. We watch I'm a Survivor Sanctuary. I love those guys. That's actually the first ones I started watching. And Cog Hill Farm, I love those guys. Arms Family Homestead. I watch a lot of the homesteading videos. One of these days, we're going to get to spend most of our time at home in our garden, which is what I'd rather be doing. But I like their personalities and real down-to-earth type people, and that's kind of what I like to watch. We also watch, I don't know, if cat people may have probably found these guys before you found us, but One Bike, One World, Dean over in Scotland with his cat Nala, they started out traveling around Europe on their bike, which I thought was great fun, that Nala rode in that bike basket all over the world. I think now he has a camper van that they're going around in instead, and that's brand new. So anybody who watches those guys, I really enjoy them too. They don't know me for nothing. I know us for nothing, but we do enjoy watching their videos. I personally think Nala looks a lot like Milo. She's now trying to go to sleep on us. Hey! you. I'm gonna get you. You're gonna come out of there. No. You know, I'm taller than you, so we can't see you. I was really hoping she would cooperate with this. We're gonna have to come up with, I may have to sit on the floor next to the bed next time. So we get us both in the shot, because this didn't work out really like I planned, but this is a brand new thing. So that was all the questions I had compiled, frequently asked questions. If I missed a question, I didn't announce I was doing this ahead of time. It was really kind of a spur moment thing I thought about doing. Man, this video's turned out long. It's gonna be a 30-minute video. This was a spur moment thing. I wasn't planning on doing it ahead of time. So if you have a video or have a question you'd like answered, we'll start trying to do these maybe once a month. I'll answer questions if I have enough questions to be worth answering. Probably be a little shorter. I can't imagine having this many questions again. I got her. Questions that have been compiled for a while. So if anybody wants anything specific, you can either direct message us on Facebook or YouTube. Put something in the comment. We'll try to try to look at every one of the comments. I will try to start compiling a list, and maybe we'll do this again in about a month. Milo is unhappy because I grabbed her and she was on her way to her bed. She said, "It's bedtime, Mom. I don't know why we're still awake." Yeah, you don't sleep all day as it is. But that's our question and answer video. It turned out way longer than I was anticipating. So if you're still here, I appreciate you listening to the whole thing, because our videos are usually less than 10 minutes. But we will talk to you guys again on Friday. You guys all have a good day.